So I just finished watching the half of it. I love that they have so many like pre-frames, meaning that they set up the emotional response to the film so well. Like, for instance, the very beginning, the story is not going to end up well for anybody. Um, and even though they do say it, meaning that, yeah, maybe Ellie and Aster never get to see each other or like really have a relationship. Um, and everybody sort of ends alone. It's still a very like sweet ending. And the reference to the old films and all the different definitions of love and the thoughtfulness of it, and also, the scene of the guy running after the train, calling that guy a moron, even though the lady is crying and sad. It's just perfect in terms of uh, like really eliciting a reaction or emotions from the viewer. And another thing is that we have seen him train, and we know that he runs really fast, which I think just adds layers to that scene where he's like truly running. And like I did, find myself asking, like, can he truly like outrun a train? Which is obviously not, but you never know what might happen in films, like the train might stop or something like that. Um, and what I appreciate as well, that there's so many types of love. Like there's, heterosexual love, like homosexual love. There's also like unrequited love and love that is lost, like in the father and the mother who passed away. And it just made me think there's so many different stories within this whole film. And again, so much love, even in the difficult circumstances, in the um, yeah, even when someone's not there, like the mother, she's still very present throughout the film, I think. So I just think like it's a very smart script, but not in a sense like it is like super self-aware that it is smart. Like I think at the beginning of the film I was like, it's gonna be interesting if like the majority of the film is going to be through like voiceover and just text on screen, because that's not usually like such an, I guess, like a normal way of telling a story. It's usually more like immediate and characters on screen. But I think it was as soon as I had that thought, then it switched more to like normal. And another scene that really like was, I thought was really lovely, was between the guy and the father. The guy, the one that isn't very eloquent, and then you have the father who's speaking English as a second language. And even though it's actually one of the most powerful moments of communication in the film, and yet they're not even speaking the same language, but they're there for each other, which again, I think showcases different types of love, different types of communication, just how powerful both love and communication is. And I was just so happy that they kissed in the end, not the father and the guy, but Esther and Ellie. Just very, very happy about that, because I was like, that's last scene. It looked like they were like friends for a second. And then when she like drops the bike and runs, that's a bold stroke, and it's messy because it's not perfect. But I was actually like, yeah, very, very touching. I think it was very well done, and definitely played against like a lot of I think like the preconceived ideas of what we think a romantic film is, which I thought was highly necessary, especially in such a specific genre as romantic comedy. So I thought they did a fantastic job at that. And I think the art department was like done like so well. I loved the costume selection as well. I could tell so much about the characters by what they were wearing. It just everything. It was just very well thought out in terms of friendship and love and everything. Like the moment when he gives Ellie the guitar when someone messed with her piano, I think, in the last show, and he knows how nerve-wracking the situation is for Ellie, and he's there to support. And I think it's very beautiful, as I think, like from my own perspective, being a female, it's really nice to know that he really is Ellie's friend, even though there is some unrequited love. um they can still be friends and have a deep and meaningful relationship, even though they're not like sleeping together. So, yeah, overall, just very touched, very happy. And I think in a way it made me feel really proud that we are watching something that is so well thought through, and so many references and like philosophies about love. So it just makes me feel like very happy that I am just not just watching any old romantic film, but actually something that has, there, it's just evident how much thought it's been put yeah, into it. The feeling of otherness, Ellie says that she feels like she doesn't belong, therefore there's no expectations to what she has to be like, whereas she is very pretty and she just fits in. And even, but there's also diversity in the fact that I think she's like part Latino, I think. Yeah, because I think the dad speaks Spanish. And then, she was born in China, and you have this guy who's like, I guess, like, does have a lot of stereotypes of America, like playing American football. So, I just, and having read Puneet's, my friend Puneet's comments on this film, I completely agree with him. There's so much symbolism throughout the film. It is one of the films that I wouldn't mind watching again. I mean, I did love the art department, the art department's choices, costume, and music. It's just, again, a very well thought film. No frame, no resources, I think, is wasted. And yeah, very, very interesting depiction of relationships. And yes, there a lot of like symbolism that I'm excited for everyone to make up their own minds about it as well. Overall, I loved it. It was a great experience. So thank you, Netflix, for having that film, half of it.